Here is my Monday Night Raw on Netflix review in 4 minutes or less. It's time to Netflix and Raw. So we get an opening intro with the history of Monday Night Raw. There was not a single millisecond where there was a Vince McMahon sighting. Vince McMahon is completely gone. He has been crisp and wad. It's a great opening package, and there's a giant sheet draped over the ring where they're playing the video for the entire arena. The intro package finishes, and the drapes drop to Triple H already in the ring. So Triple H gives his welcome to Monday Night Raw on Netflix, and then Triple H practically dies. And then from one egomaniac to the other, who else would be the second person to come out? None other than the People's Champion, The Rock. Also, burn whoever made this sign. Instead of the final boss, we get corporate Dwayne Johnson. He's congratulating the fans, he's congratulating Netflix, but he gives even a thanks to Cody Rhodes for putting the company on his back, completely forgetting kayfabe, and not like 8 months ago, he was making Cody bleed. They're having drinks in the back, they're buddy-buddy, giving hugs. You're like, what the fuck? And then at one point, he acknowledges Roman Reigns as his tribal chief. He hasn't even won the Ulafalo yet. So bad blood meant absolutely nothing. And then we weave our way into Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa. The match itself, point blank period, was an absolute banger of a match. We got tribal combat, bloodline rules, whatever you want to call it. You have both bloodlines coming in. You got tables, you got chairs, you got the cinematic matches that the bloodline do. And it's a great match with Roman Reigns coming in on top, becoming officially the tribal chief. And just when you think he's going to put it on, you get an awesome shot of The Rock coming out. And this is where you think they're going to set up the match at WrestleMania. They get face to face. And he just puts the Ulafala on Roman and then gives him a handshake and they hug. And that's that. Then we got John Cena coming out. He's saying he wants to fight for number 17, but he's on a 2,000-day losing streak. And how is he going to get there? He's going to enter the Royal Rumble. That's all this promo was about. And then we get Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan, where their feud is done. They don't have to see it anymore. Thank God. But for what it's worth, the match was pretty solid and it was pretty entertaining. And it was a good way to end and shut this feud and lock it in a cage and throw it to hell. After the match, Dom comes in trying to hug Rhea. They get really close, and just when you're like, oh, no, she kicks him right in the testicles. Then as Rhea's leaving, The Undertaker comes out for a cheap pop, drives around the ring for his quick second, then stands next to Rhea. They do the little fist thing. Then we get a cameo from Travis Scott coming out through the crowd, smoking a blunt in an arena, which is awesome. I loved every second of that. Travis Scott leads out Jey Uso to an awesome entrance, as he always does. And then comes out Drew McIntyre, and they have a match, and for what it's worth, between two of the top guys on Monday Night Raw, you would think that their match would have been better. I thought they could have done more, but the crowd just didn't seem into it. They didn't seem to care. I think there was just too much going on. They were almost burnt out by this point, but Jey Uso wins with a roll-up. It was a little weird. I didn't really like it very much. I know they can do better. To then the absolute best part of the night, hands down, bar none, the return of Hulk Hogan and Hulkamania, coming out with Jimmy Hart waving the American flag. Hulk Hogan cuts a useless 2-minute promo, and the entire time he is being downpoured on by boos. The promo itself was terrible, 0 out of 10, but that moment, that was absolute 11 out of 10, pure cinema. Everybody booing the shit out of Hulk Hogan, booed him out of the building. And people are going to say it's because they're in a liberal state and Hulk Hogan came through off his jet wearing a MAGA shirt, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. I think it's more than just politics. I think it's just because Hulk Hogan's a piece of shit. To then we get to the main event of CM Punk versus Seth freaking Rollins, and it's been 10 years in the making. We've all been waiting for this match, and it finally comes to a head right before our eyes. Seth's gear is awesome. It's, playing off the Monday Night Raw. They have a great match, as you would expect. I don't think it was match of the night, but what I didn't really like is that CM Punk was hit with 5 finishers, kicked out of or touched the ropes on all of them, and was able to survive. Seth carried the match, no doubt about it. They put on a great show. Seth loses off of 2 GTSs. CM Punk comes out on top for the win. Match of the night, though, is easily Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa. Overall, this show, I'm giving an 8.5 out of 10. It's a super fun show. It is clearly a spectacle. It's more than just a regular Monday Night Raw, and it felt that way.